Within the pool of televised and highlighted issues that captivate society day to day, there's still one thing that has failed to be addressed. There's a threat all too familiar to today's youth that has been continuing to grow right under our noses.
I think that the American school system is honestly not meeting like a student's and a kid's need in the classroom and outside of the classroom. I think that's just like something that's not right. Like, we have to be the best. That's what each school is teaching us. Like, they rank us with our peers, and that's just not healthy anymore. I say homework does get in the way of maintaining health.
The story of homework is a long one, being used many times throughout history, but most notably becoming what is considered a necessity in education within the last 100 years or so.
On average, it depends how much hours of homework I have to spend.
Daily? Maybe one.
At least an hour and a half a night, and that's like the minimum for me. Usually it's anywhere from like 2.5 to 3 hours.
It was invented as a way to recite lessons from the day before, but as anyone involved in education today will tell you, it's evolved into something much bigger.
I've seen how it can hurt a person's health because they're trying to stay up these crazy hours to accomplish what they're supposed to accomplish with reading a crazy amount of pages of a book or whatever it is.
What can be harmful is when homework is not coordinated, so you have multiple classes and every teacher assigns you homework and you end up with more than you can handle. And that's a real problem, I think, right now.
I personally think it's harmful just because students end up losing sleep and they end up spending time, like they could have been spending the time they're doing on homework on other things.
But I've noticed a lot of high school students who, one, they brag. This idea that they're bragging about how much homework they have, it's this badge of honor. And then they talk about how late they have to stay up and that they're not sleeping and that that's just the way life is.
The first teacher I think of when I think of the best teacher I ever had is an English teacher I had in my junior and senior year of high school. And what was great about Mrs. Post was that she encouraged us to think for ourselves. So I never did anything wrote or memorized in her class. In fact, her class helped me to learn to think better.
Most can agree that some of the best qualities in teachers include their passion, their expert knowledge on their subject, their ability to cater to a variety of learning styles, and their vision for their students' progress. The problem with the current education system is that it discourages all of these traits.
Well, I mean, as a teacher, you've got to make sure that whatever it is you're covering, your curriculum is covered. And you're on a time schedule, you've only got so many days, and to get certain things taught and learned by the students. So that can be stressful.
Teachers are denied the freedom to decide what to teach, how to teach it, how to evaluate student progress, how to structure a classroom and curriculum, and the ability to make individualized plans for different students if needed. Essentially, they are denied being treated as professionals, which in any other industry are trusted to be able to make their own decisions. The cause of this is the current one-size-fits-all model, stemming from Common Core, which is ultimately from the funding behind all public schools. Student performance on standardized tests is prioritized above all else, as if it is the only metric alone that can be used to measure a student's abilities. As a result of the No Child Left Behind Act and other Bush-era legislation, schools with better standardized test scores are given more funding from the government. Therefore, teachers have become the middlemen, transferring facts from a set curriculum to the students.
I personally believe that each school should have the same amount of funding.
I don't think it's really an accurate representation because the test for some people is not their strength.
And if a school that has less funding, their students are being chomped at the bit by all these teachers who are like making them memorize all this information just so they can get better paid jobs, so they can have better resources to do their job with.
If we want each student to develop a different and unique set of skills and experiences, then why are we all teaching them the same thing the same way? If we were to fully fund schools everywhere, regardless of test scores, make a concerted effort to pay desirable wages to qualified educators, and evaluate students using a variety of objective and subjective metrics, we might finally be so much closer at putting students' needs first. After all, they are the future of our nation.